Good morning and welcome. Thank you for coming out to our press conference. My name is Jeff Rose. I'm a senior attorney with the Institute for Justice and the lead counsel in the case that we're going to discuss today. The Institute for Justice is a public interest nonprofit law firm based in Arlington, Virginia, and we are representing the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Newark in its challenge to a recent New Jersey law depriving it of economic liberty. This case addresses one of the most important unanswered questions in constitutional law. Can the government use its public power purely for private gain? We are aiming this case at the United States Supreme Court to resolve that question, a question about which the federal courts of appeals are divided. I'm going to turn the mic over now to my colleague Greg Reed, who will discuss the specifics of the case, and then we'll hear from Archbishop John Myers, then from Andrew Schaefer, the Executive Director of Catholic Cemeteries. We also have with us two parishioners of the Archdiocese who have taken advantage of the inscription rights program, and they'll be available to answer questions after the press conference. Okay, I'll turn it over to my colleague Greg Reed.
Thank you all for coming today. The Archdiocese of Newark, parishioners Emilio Mazza and Dennis Flynn Sr. have joined with the Institute for Justice in challenging one of the most egregious examples of economic protectionism anywhere in this country. Assembly Bill A3840, signed into law on March 23rd by Governor Christie, prevents the Archdiocese from providing superior quality services and greater convenience to its parishioners by prohibiting the Archdiocese from selling or even inscribing headstones or private family mausoleums, as it has been doing so successfully since 2006. This law was drafted and passed at the request of New Jersey's monument builders for the exclusive benefit of New Jersey's monument builders. During the passage of this law, at no point was any evidence presented that the Archdiocese, who has faithfully served its parishioners, has injured any of them in providing this quality service. And at no point was a consumer protection interest even articulated by the legislature, by the governor, or by the monument builders. The sole purpose of this law is to shut out the competition, limit consumer choice, to ensure that consumer money continues to flow into the pockets of these industry insiders. That is why the Archdiocese and parishioners Mazza and Flynn have joined with the Institute for Justice in challenging this law and defending their right to economic freedom. A win for them is a win for all individuals and entrepreneurs across this country, and a rebuke to governments who think they can continue to cater to the politically influential at the expense of individual rights. I'd like to introduce Archbishop Myers.
Good morning. From the Roman catacombs to the cemeteries of the Archdiocese, there is a 2,000-year-old tradition of the Church, honoring the bodies of those who have died, providing a final resting place on sacred ground, and supporting their family and friends who want to honor them and pray for them. I am thankful and proud of Mr. Andrew Schaefer and the staff of Catholic Cemeteries for continuing this tradition and for their efforts to honor the wishes of Catholic families when someone they love has died. I am grateful to the Institute for Justice for joining us to defend our constitutional right to economic liberty. Last year, the New Jersey legislature passed a law that violates the U.S. Constitution by placing the special interests of a small group of business owners over the freedom of individuals to engage in productive commerce. The legislature acted at the urging of the funeral director and monument dealer lobbies, two groups that want to restrict solely for their own personal economic gain how and from whom consumers can buy products such as headstones. The legislature acted after the courts of New Jersey specifically said that it was perfectly legal for the Archdiocese to offer these services to our parishioners. In nearly every state, Anyone can buy a headstone or mausoleum from any individual or company and from places as diverse as a brick and mortar store or the internet, but not in New Jersey. The legislature arbitrarily took away consumer choice for the sole purpose of protecting the bottom line of industry insiders. Since the earliest days of the Catholic Church, cemeteries and cemetery services have been significant to our ministry. When we began offering inscription rights, we were merely serving Catholic families, responding to their request to offer them quality headstones and help ensure that these memorials are maintained and secured. And now the law tells us we cannot. That's plainly, clearly wrong and unconstitutional. This law harms consumers and our mission and our tradition.
And now we'll hear from Andrew Schaefer, who is the Executive Director of the Catholic Cemeteries.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Schaefer. I'm the Executive Director of the Ministry of Catholic Cemeteries. For over 30 years, I've been working and helping with families during their greatest time of need, when mourning the loss of a loved one. Generations of Catholic families have entrusted us to help lay to rest their loved ones on consecrated, protected grounds in perpetuity. That's our promise and our mission. Our mission endures despite changing times and economic challenges. The religious needs and interests of our Catholic families change too. In recent years, requests from our parishioners for memorials and headstones have increased. We responded. An inscription rights program was created that allows us to provide a monument, inscribe it as per the wishes of our parishioners, and retain its ownership so we can maintain it in perpetuity. Parishioners value and appreciate the inscription rights program. It's convenient to purchase with cemetery rights. The funds help ensure permanent monument and cemetery care. It supports the mission of Catholic cemeteries, a perpetual institution. Most importantly, it ensures the integrity and care of a loved one's memorial forever. Their memorial, their headstone, is a statement of faith for generations to come. With this new law, countless families who entrusted us to bury and protect their loved ones now must purchase memorials elsewhere. This new law forbids the Archdiocese of Newark and all other religious cemeteries from selling headstones to their parishioners. With this new law, parishioners are prohibited from their freedom of choice to select us as a memorial provider. Their choice is purposely restricted to the funeral directors and monument dealers. Why? Simply put, this new law protects only the interests of funeral directors and monument dealers while eliminating the rights of our ministry and the families we serve. Thank you.
We'll now be taking any questions you might have.
So the law says exactly what? It's not specific to Catholic religion, it's any faith that wants to sell headstones. And religious thing will always do this. When you started to do, when was there a change that became a catalyst for this law?
The law specifically says that private religious cemeteries cannot sell, install, manufacture, convey, or inscribe headstones or private family mausoleums. It has a number of other restrictions as well. The Archdiocese started providing these services through its inscription rights program in 2006. And when it did so, it provided private family mausoleums. It started providing headstones in 2013. And that's when the New Jersey monument dealers, finding competition in their business, decided to bring a lawsuit and then ultimately request legislation favoring them and excluding the Archdiocese from the market.
Why do you think they were successful in the legislature?
The monument dealers of New Jersey and their allies, the funeral directors, are a well-organized and have an incredible financial interest in ensuring that no one competes with them in providing these services and products. The Archdiocese Inscription Rights Program provides a superior quality service and greater convenience for parishioners. They're offering to maintain these memorials in perpetuity. That's something that parishioners are excited to utilize. It's also something that parishioners are also eager to support the Archdiocese, and they should have the choice.
Was it the inscription rights that was the problem, or was it actually selling the picture?
The Inscription Rights Program effectively provides the headstone. Although it is titled an Inscription Rights Program, which involves the inscribing of these various memorials, the price and the process through which one acquires that right, you are provided the headstone and the private family mausoleum.
Does it appear that possibly they feel that there's an inside advantage, the fact that the ministers and so forth have the direct connection to make that
Yeah, well, I don't like that. First, I want to be clear that the Archdiocese Inscription Rights Program is only for those people who wish to be interred in the Archdiocese cemeteries, which is to say you're either a Catholic faithful or you're a family member of someone who's Catholic. So this is not open to anyone who's being interred in any cemetery throughout New Jersey. And moreover, the Archdiocese is very explicit that when people come in and start planning for the end of life for a loved one, and perhaps they acquire an interment right in a grave, they say you can go and acquire your memorial from anyone you like. But this is what we're offering you here, and if you choose us, we appreciate it.
And it's true that it's true that the Archdiocese has a relationship with its parishioners, but that's not illegal, and that's not the basis for creating a law that strips the Archdiocese and its parishioners of their economic liberty.
What kind of lawsuit is it? Is it antitrust? What kind of characterize the nature of the lawsuit?
It's a constitutional lawsuit in defense of the Archdiocese and the parishioners' economic liberty.
How else does the Archdiocese fund the cemeteries? I read that this helps keep the cemeteries going. So how are you funding them now that the law took place?
Well, the Archdiocese also provides interment rights, which is the ability to be kept in a certain location, in a cemetery or in a community mausoleum. And that's something that all cemeteries across this country sell in order to provide money for the perpetual care of the grounds. That will continue, but this is an important aspect of ensuring that perpetual maintenance. I mean, it's an incredible undertaking, and the Archdiocese is merely trying to provide a better service and product for its parishioners. Any other questions?
For the Archbishop, I just need to take one question just about the Pope's visit coming up, and the Pope will be visiting the region.
Yes.
Not New Jersey.
Yes, but Philadelphia and New York.
Did you try to get him to come to New Jersey at all?
I explored the possibility, but since he added Cuba to his list, his schedule just filled up so much that we were not able to bring that about. But we would have been very interested.
These are New York visits. A lot of New York Catholics are going to be given tickets, I assume, or have
Yes,
access to tickets.
the tickets are very limited, but yes.
How can New Jersey people get to New Jersey Catholics, and how does that work?
I would say, I'm not certain exactly the system that Cardinal Dolan has set up. I would say that they should contact there's a person in the New York Chancery in charge of the visit. So I would contact the Chancery in the Archdiocese of New York, and they can give answers to those questions. I'm not sure what they finally decided.
Will you be seeing them?
Yes, I get to see him a couple of times a year anyway, but this is very special to have him in our area. But thank you.
Okay, well, and we'll be available, everyone here will be available to answer questions individually. Thank you very much for coming.